The Orange Pedalway is the inner circle of the Norwich Pedalway system, and this is part 2 of the ride around it. We start at Aylsham Road and ride around the east of the circle and return to All Saints Green. The first problem is we have to get across Aylsham Road, and this can be difficult. Aylsham Road's a very busy, fast road. But we get across and we head down Patterson Road, and we're into terraced houses again. Patterson Road is your typical terraced house street. Probably quite a lot of through traffic here normally, but it's 20 miles an hour and there's speed bumps, and going this way is a nice downhill run. So we just head down here now, and eventually we get to the end. And at the end of Patterson Road, we cross over Angel Road and the yellow pedalway, and we turn left into Waterloo Road. Now this is a bit more of a major road, there's a bit more traffic along here normally, but it's the same sort of thing, more terraced houses, speed bumps, 20 mile an hour. And of course loads of parked cars, but at least down here all the cars are only on one side of the road. Notice the way the cars are parked on the pavement as well, so it's tough luck if you're a pedestrian down here. That's very typical in Norwich. As I've said in part 1, this video was recorded in July 2021, which was just after the lockdown for the COVID pandemic, so traffic levels are very much lower than they are normally. Eventually we get to the end of Waterloo Road and we cross over Magdalen Road. Magdalen Road is the blue pedalway, and we head towards Constitution Hill, but we don't stay there for very long. We turn right into Denmark Road. Extra care is needed here. Look what happens as I approach the junction. It's not very obvious on the camera, but it was to me at the time. This van heading towards me slows down greatly for a speed bump, and I took it to mean that he was giving way to me, so I started to cross. He wasn't. He went over the speed bump and accelerated. Having watched that incident a few times now, I think the problem is that speed bump is too close to the junction. Some people will slow down for speed bumps and then speed up afterwards. And being just before a junction, it does give the impression they're slowing down to allow vehicles to turn right. And it's obvious the driver hadn't seen me, and that could have been nasty. So I would say the problem there is the speed bump. Well intentioned, but in the wrong place. Better would be a speed table at the junction. So another street of mostly terraced houses with parked cars on both sides of the road here. And this road probably does get a fair amount of traffic at normal times. The parked cars are a real problem. I don't know what you can do about this really, but something does need to be done, as they say. You know, we're taking up a lot of road space just for parked cars, and when road space is at such a premium as it is, that seems a very strange use for it. Anyway, as we get down to the end of Denmark Road, we come to Sprowston Road. Now, Sprowston Road is a very busy main road. 30 miles an hour, no traffic calming. You've got to be on your guard down here. We turn left. But we don't stay on it for very long until we take a right into Gurney Road, and at least there's a right turn lane here for what the white paint is worth. and eventually onto a rather nice traffic-free road across Mousehold Heath. Quite a lot of uphill though, this is a bit of a drag, but it's nice to be away from the traffic. Mousehold Heath is really quite a big hill to the north of Norwich City, and we're going over the lower reaches of it, so it's quite a steep climb. This used to be a through road actually, probably quite busy. Mousehold Heath is nice, it's quite a nice bit of countryside right in the centre of Norwich. This is a shared use path, so do be careful, look out for dog walkers and just people wandering around, but it's not a problem. And as I say, it's a lovely bit of ride, this, really enjoyable. And then we get a nice downhill section as well, so you can actually get moving, but of course that doesn't last for long. And there's one last big slog up a hill and to get to the end of this section. And at the end of Gurney Road we take a left into Mousehold Avenue and a nice bit of cycle track. And that takes us onto Gurney Road where we go right. And again, nice bit of cycle path where we join the pink pedalway as it heads towards the city. Gurney Road is supposed to be 20 miles an hour, but yes, this is quite a nice section of cycle track. It is, of course, shared use pavement, so you do get people wandering along it, but it's decent. It's a decent width, nice surface. Eventually we get to the point where the pink pedalway turns right and heads off down Dragoon Way, and we turn left into Britannia Road. Getting across this road here is really difficult. There is a speed table, it is a 20 mile an hour limit theoretically, but really it needs something better than this. So eventually we get across and we head up Britannia Road. This takes us to the top of St James Hill, which has a wonderful view over Norwich. And we also go past the old barracks and HMP Norwich. And when we get to the top of the hill, this is actually quite a tourist destination. There can be quite a lot of traffic mingling around here. Over to the right is St James's Hill with its wonderful views over the city and the cathedral. So yeah, quite a lot of tourist traffic here. We head down a very crowded Barrack Street, another terraced house road, jam-packed with cars on each side, and we do get quite a lot of traffic coming up here. As you can see, it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to get past things. Britannia Road is two-way. When cars meet here, there can be a real problem of them getting past each other. I mean, bikes have enough problem. Britannia Road meets Ketts Hill, where it becomes Plumstead Road. Now this can be a very difficult road to get across. It's very busy, very fast, but today not so bad, so we get across. Britannia Road continues, and it's more terrace street with parked cars. But we don't stay on this for very long, because at the end of it we come to Wolfe Road, where we turn right. And when we join Wolfe Road, we also join the Green Pedalway. Now, at this point, I carried straight on, and that's a dead end, so I had to come back. We should have turned right, so we'll just cut that bit. So we turn right onto Wolfe Road. And then at the next crossroads, it becomes St Lenards Road. And this is the start of the big hill down to Thorpe Road. This is the reason I cycled clockwise around this circuit, because I don't like coming up this big hill. It's actually not too bad. It's a series of short roads and quite steep hills. And there's no real way around this. If you want to get from this part of the city to the station, which is where we're going, the hill's in the way. So we come down St Lenards Road, Fortunately, nothing coming the other way. Onto Quebec Road, and then quickly across to Beatrice Road. This bit's fairly flat. We go around the corner into Hillhouse Road and down another hill. As I say, going the other way is a bit of an endurance test. It's doable. If you have to go up a hill like this is quite a good way to do it. You know, it's in small stages, bite-sized chunks. If you've got a reasonable bike and you're in reasonable good health, you can get up here quite easily. At the end of Hillhouse Road, we turn left into Rosary Road. We've had a few safety issues on this trip round the Orange Pedalway, and we're about to have two more. I'm approaching Thorpe Road. I'm going to turn right so I get to the centre of the road, but look what happens. This post office van cuts the corner, and had I not noticed what he was doing, that could have got difficult. I wonder why there isn't a keep left bollard here. Anyway, I'm going to go right here onto Thorpe Road, which is normally a very difficult road to get across, but today is quite easy. Now, as I've said, this is a very low traffic day, and normally this section of road is actually quite busy. It is due to be completely remodelled though, and there should be a lot less traffic down here in the future. Maybe by the time you're watching this it's all changed. Anyway, this lorry overtakes me and immediately gets stopped at the traffic lights. So those lights have only just changed. That lorry isn't going to go anywhere. So I'll make use of this useful little bit of cycle lane. Oh, look, those wheels are big. The green pedalway carries on straight here, but I'm going left. So, why did I undercut the lorry there? The traffic lights had just changed to red. They weren't going to change back to green, so the lorry wasn't going to move. What I did there was actually quite legit. You know, that was a cycle lane designed to undercut the traffic, but nobody would call that position safe to be in. Had I sat there on the advanced stop line, the lights turn to green, I pedal on the green pedalway straight ahead, and that lorry moves off and turns left. What's going to happen? Hopefully when this all gets rebuilt, that sort of thing won't exist, and there'll be a nice easy way into the station. Bad cycle infrastructure is worse than no cycle infrastructure, and that is a good example. And that takes us to Riverside Road. So we cross over Riverside Road into Wherry Road, which is a nice little pedestrian street through the Riverside complex. And then we get to the Lady Julian Bridge and we turn right. There's two bridges like this along this section of the river. They're very nice bridges. And then we come into the St Anne's Wharf building site. This section isn't complete yet, but we can get through. We come up St Anne Lane. At the end of St Anne Lane we turn left into King Street. And ride along there for a short while. Before we get to Music House Lane, where we turn right. Music House Lane is quite a steep hill going up. Bit more pedalling up a steep hill. And eventually we get into Rouen Road. Turn right into Rouen Road. Again, can be quite a busy road this, so be careful. And this was actually built as a bypass for King Street, I think in the 1930s or so. And then we've been saving the best or the worst bit till last, where we turn into Thorne Lane. Thorne Lane is closed to through traffic, but it's got a real sting in its tail. This has to be one of the steepest hills in Norwich. It comes as a real shock if you're not expecting it. This is real stand on the pedals in the lowest gear type hill. So we get up and eventually we come into Burr Street. We turn right into Burr Street. Go past John Lewis on the left, and then we can turn left into All Saints Green. We're back to where we started, and that is the full circuit of the Orange Pedalway.